This um, devotional this morning, God has feeling and uncaring. But God does care. Now, I never understood why the Hebrew writer wrote this in a double negative. So we have to understand the double negative means a positive. Hebrews 4:15, for we have not an high priest which cannot. So we have not which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. So in other words, what he's saying is we have a high priest which can be touched with the feelings of our infirmities. We have a high priest which can be touched with the feelings of our infirmities. I've done several messages down through the years entitled Feelings Are Fickle. We cannot go by our feelings, because the feelings are our emotions, and our emotions appeal to the flesh. But we have to go by the Bible. We have to go by the Holy Spirit. And we have to realize that Jesus Christ is not an unfeeling person. He is a very feeling person. In fact, he went to the very cross for us so that we would not have to suffer like he suffered. He was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities, and by his stripes we are healed. That's not an unfeeling person. That's a very feeling person. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he prayed, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Not my will, but thy will be done. When he saw how grieved Martha and Mary were over the loss of their brother, he related to them and he wept. Jesus wept. This does not show an uncaring or an unloving Jesus. It shows that he's very caring and that he does love and care for his own. You know, he cares. Sometimes when we get up in the morning, I don't know if your experience has been this way, but mine has. When I get up in the morning, I don't even want to get out of bed. I don't want to face another day. I don't want to have anything to do with this life sometimes. You know? Luke 21:34, take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness, and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. Mark 4:19, the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. Well, Jesus Christ is not an uncaring, unloving person. Okay? He does care what's going on in our lives. He is sensitive to all of his children's situation. That's why he tells us, come unto me all ye who are labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly, and you will find rest for your souls. Well, you can find that in Matthew 11:28, right? And he says that if you're weak and heavy laden, that he will give you rest. He says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Well, sometimes there's a song that says sometimes we get discouraged and of my lot complain, right? And then we say, hide thou me, O rock of ages, hide thou me. No other refuge have I but thee. We need to go to the rock of our salvation. We need to seek his face when we no longer want to face the world. When our burdens seem overwhelming, there's a song that says, burdens are lifted at Calvary. You know, and so I want everyone to be reminded today that Jesus Christ is a caring, long-suffering individual. He cares about what's going on in our lives, and he has taken our burdens upon himself. May the good Lord be with you this weekend in a special way. God bless.